Fortnite Chapter 4. Yeah, every YouTuber and leaker is talking about next season potentially being Chapter 4. What is happening? Well, I don't actually have leaks for this. So what I did is I went and researched everything that we know, everything that's out there. That way you guys are informed and you're not surprised if at the end of this season, we actually go into a brand new map and chapter. This is kind of crazy, so sit back. There's a lot to go over. So how did this all start? A couple weeks ago, some leakers found a new map in the Fortnite game files for season 23, which is chapter 3, season 5. And the map is called Asteria. And listen, the code name is extremely important. We'll get into that later in the video. They initially thought this could have something to do with Creative 2.0. If you guys did not know, there's a huge update to Creative that will be happening that's going to blow Fortnite up. It's going to be one of the biggest updates to Fortnite ever. But here's the thing. The end of this season is December 3rd, which is exactly 4 years after the original Creative got added into Fortnite. So the theory somewhat makes sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's when it's released, because Tim Sweeney said it would be releasing this year. But then the leakers started to change their mind, and they thought, what if the Asteria map is actually chapter 4 and not a map for Creative 2.0? So let me explain why. So season 4 just dropped and we finally got some storyline development. Chrome has taken over the map and it's spreading throughout. The 7 have gone completely missing. We don't know if some of them are dead or just consumed by the Chrome. We even have leaks that the POIs on the map are going to be flying around to avoid being consumed by the Chrome. This is extremely similar to what happened in chapter 2 with the Cube Queen. So there's a lot of parallels with the corruption spreading and the Chrome spreading. And in that season, we got a bunch of teasers that this would be the end of the chapter 2 map. Even the description of the Cube Queen and the Battle Pass cosmetics. People weren't convinced at first, but eventually it became pretty obvious that that would be the end of chapter 2. This season, we take a look at the Herald's Battle Pass cosmetics, and there's a lot of very interesting lines. The last light you'll see, the final cut awaits, and the nothing is coming. The nothing is something Epic has actually been teasing for years now, and it went right over our heads. So keep that in mind. Speaking of cosmetics, my SypherPK icon series will be leaving the item shop October 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern, and the SypherPK pimp map quest will be removed. You will no longer be able to earn the free cosmetics after October 2nd. Go plug in code SypherPK if you plan to get the skin, and at least go play the map and earn those free rewards before it's gone forever. So with the Chrome taking over the island, with the Herald actually here on the map, it's very obvious that there will be an end of season event. Now, will this event end the chapter? We can't be sure, but all signs are pointing to an event actually happening. And this event will be substantial, whether we go into a new chapter or not. Because think about it, the Herald literally means someone that foreshadows the arrival of someone or something. But why would this event lead us into chapter 4? Let's look at how much has been teased. Every cosmetic around the Herald is based around this thing called the Nothing. But what is the Nothing? Some people are saying it's the next big villain of the Fortnite story, but I personally don't think so. I think it's more of an event like the island flipping or the black hole. I think it makes perfect sense for the end of season event to be called the Nothing. Epic's pretty smart about how they structure this, especially when it comes to the events. And they've been hinting at this for a while. The creative director of Fortnite, Donald Mustard, has been showing it in our faces the entire time. In season 8, when the Cube Queen arrived on the island, he actually tweeted out, "Nothing will remain," even capitalizing the word nothing. There's also 2 other cryptic tweets that are super obvious now that we look back at them. So this is a reply to one of the tweets about the Foundation going to Gotham, and he ends his tweet with "everything changes," and then he replied, or ... nothing, all caps. Another tweet where he tweeted out, "Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain." He's been putting this out there for a while now, and I guess at the end of the season we're gonna find out what the Nothing actually is. And all these tweets have something to do with the Queen. So could the Queen be somewhat related to the Herald? They do have similar colors and vibes. But let's talk about the map name Asteria. That's the code name for this map. Could it be the chapter 4 map? If you're a diehard fan, you know that these code names are very important. They're based on Greek gods. Athena is the name of the chapter 1 map. And the chapter 2 map is Apollo, and chapter 3 is Artemis. And they're not just random names. The chapter 2 map Apollo and the chapter 3 map Artemis are actually twins in Greek mythology, which explains why they're the flip side of each other. And there's also significance for the chapter 4 map Asteria. She was a goddess that transformed herself into an island. And in the myth, that's where Apollo and Artemis were actually born. So she is the original creator of these maps. So is Epic telling us that this next map is where the chapter 2 and chapter 3 map came from, where they originated from? We know the 0 Point created these maps, so maybe we'll finally visit where the 0 Point actually came from. Remember that scene in the season 6 event where we saw kind of like a different world? Maybe that's where we go. So is Paradigm's reality where some of these maps were born? Is it closer to the origin of the 0 Point? Could this have something to do with reality 0 that has been put in our face over and over again? Could reality 0 be the birthplace of all the maps and Artemis and Apollo, and where the chapter 4 map is from, considering it is the first reality? If anything's going to be an original, it would be from the first reality. This is a lot of info to get excited about, but we still can't say for sure that we are heading into chapter 4 next season. But we're just getting started in this chapter. How could there only be 4 seasons? Well, why does there have to be more? We haven't even been on this map for a year yet. Would it be too crazy to completely switch maps? We've seen other games like Apex have a new map every year, and Fortnite might be just trying to pick up the pace and give us maps quicker. The faster pacing will definitely help. It'll keep things fresh. I really do like this map, but the thought of getting more maps is just exciting. If we're getting a brand new chapter, what are we expecting? Because brand new chapters always bring in brand new mechanics and mechanics that really change the game. Fortnite has been updating first person mode quite a bit in the past few months. We've talked about it in different videos, but imagine if your first game of chapter 4, you actually loaded in and you dropped out of the battle bus in first person. How crazy would that be? A change as big as first person mode would not happen in the middle of the season. This is something they would probably save for a brand new chapter, because it would have to make changes to the map or the UI and aesthetics to actually make it work. And if chapter 4 is around the corner, it makes perfect sense. This would be a huge gameplay change that would define chapter 4. We also know that there is news about flying animals potentially coming to the game. If we're going to be getting new wildlife, it makes sense for those wildlife to exist on a new map. Last season, there was actually leaks of a saddler item that you could use to tame wildlife and easily hop on them, but that never came to the game. It might be an item that's just being saved for chapter 4 when these wildlife are available. Maybe the chapter 4 map will have a different biome, a different structure that supports these wildlife, and we'll have different fruits and vegetables as we enter into Asteria, which is the original creator of the other maps, at least according to the Greek mythology. So this December, we could be getting a brand new chapter or Creative 2.0 or both at the same time, making it one of the craziest times in Fortnite history. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to snag the SypherPK icon series before it leaves the shop October 2nd.